All right. Let's try this again. All right. All right. All right. All right. Give you a moment to come on in. Okay. So we're going to go over national citizenship. Okay. We are going to go over nationality and citizenship as it relates to government and man's relationship to government. All right. National. All right. Nationalization, nationalized. All right. Yeah, we'll do it that way. All right. So we're going to go over national citizenship. These things are not the same. In America, they're not the same. But in other countries, upon different various continents, they may be the same. Example, in Morocco, nationality and citizenship go hand in hand because in Africa and in Morocco, there is no united front of the whole continent. Each country is personally liable for itself, right? And each of its members of its governing body politic, right, owes their allegiance specifically to Morocco and not at all to Africa as a whole. In America, the countries have recognized themselves as states. They have ceded some of their sovereignty to a union. And in this union, each one of these now states pledge allegiance to their union. And then that union of all of these states united make up their country or their body politic. And so that's the difference between, that is the variation of nationalization. How else can I say that? That is the distinction of nationality between a country that is not united as a whole front and then the United States of America, which is the only country that is united. Their states are united as one. Okay? Appreciate y'all for returning. All right. So nationality is that quality or character which arises from the fact of a person's belonging to a nation or state. This is my person. Okay? A person is a legal entity. That's all it is. It is an identity on paper to register and to track and trace energy, the time, the energy, the labor, right? The liberties as well as, not the freedom, but the liberties. It tracks the tax, all right? It's the accounting. This is the account. The person is the name and account, all right? And your account is going to have a quality or character. But anyway, nationality is that quality or character which arises from the facts found from our litigants out there, right, who understand judicial reference, the judicial reference, facts found on record, right, which arises from the fact of a person's belonging to a nation or state, right? Again, I'm stressing that to keep in mind that Morocco would be its own nation because Africa is not united, right? But Pennsylvania, right, is a state within the nation. And in America, your nation and your state have to be recognized as one. Because the nation is America, not Pennsylvania, not New York, not California, right? No, America. That is the national government. United States of America, North America. That is the nation. And we in America, we in our great nation, right, have states within the union. All right. Citizenship is one's legal joinder. Joinder is relationship, bond. What is the bond? What connects, right? Citizenship is the legal joinder between a person and a society. Okay? The rank, role, or position of a person, corporation, business, a legal entity. The relationship of the legal entity and the society or the department of the matrix that it is operating in. Okay? In business. This is all business relationship. National citizenship, right? What does it mean to nationalize, right? I hear a lot of these brothers and sisters out here talking about nationalizing. Nationalizing. Come and join our club. No. To nationalize means to return the person or the property. They're the same, right? Return the personality or the property to the government for securitization. To nationalize. Nationalization means to give the property back to the government. Here, take that off my hands so that we can all work together within our government to administrate our commercial affairs. Right? Don't have us out here being personally liable. We've come together as one organization. We're going to pledge our debts, right, to the public, right, for the betterment of the public. We are going to pledge those, and we are going to receive, right, secured persons. Excuse me. Right? We receive secured persons. Right? When I nationalized, I pledged this ens legis, this legal entity, this corporation, this business name, right? I pledged all of its time, Labor and energy. Here we go. I pledged all of its time, labor, and energy, right, back to the government in which I live. What government do I live in? I live in the government of Pennsylvania. That's the government I live in. And then my national government is the American government. Okay. But the government in which I live, right, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania issued me my person, right? My personal property. This is property of the state. The name, everything. Everything is the property of the state. And so when it was given to me, right, my state, my citizenship rank was that of a citizen, a common citizen, commoner. Okay? I was one of the common people. Okay? The common people are the beneficiaries. The common people are those not in executive and administrative capacity. All right? Those who are required to have another act on their behalf, right? So I was a dependent, right? This person, this this is the Social Security, that this financial institution routing number that creates the ledger. I now have a state citizen ledger. It's a state citizen. 14th Amendment citizens. If you're born or naturalized in the United States, all right, cool. You're a citizen. Everyone born here is a citizen. Are you a national citizen? And that light is beaming, ain't it? Let's see if I can. Oh, there we go. Yeah, because I like to move. Big cat. Is that better for you all? Oh, tripping. Right. That's why I turned it off. Right. All right. Okay, so nationality. What is my nationality? Right? What is my quality? What is my character in my nation? My nationality is USA. My nationality is USA. That's my nationality. According to the American government, according to the documents that I have received from the U.S. government, from my national government, right? On both of these documents, it tells me that my nationality is USA. Now, I know that in the Morrison's Temple of America, back in its heyday, the brothers and sisters also had that type of information on their nationality cards to get them prepared. But I digress. My nationality is USA. That's my quality. My quality is USA. Drew Arlene said that money does not make the man. He says that it is free national standards and power that makes the man and the nation. So whatever makes the nation makes the man. Whatever makes the man makes the nation. So my quality or my character is an American. Flat out. Okay? And my religious title of Muslim means creditor. So I'm a creditor American. Okay? Under Islam, all the creditors. Okay. All right. My citizenship, birthright citizenship, right? I am bound to this continent by bloodline and heritage, jus soli and jus sanguine. Right? Here's evidence of my birth. Here's evidence that I was born and that an entity was birthed due to me being born. Right? All right. Where am I getting that? Citizen. Okay. I lost my train of thought real quick. Uh, Getting back to the nation and the state. All right. My quality, my character, my person. Shit. I really did lose my train of thought. All right. So my person, I pledged my person. We'll just get to the point, right? I pledged my person from there we go, from Pennsylvania, right? My person was established in Pennsylvania, right? I pledged my person back to Pennsylvania to the DS-11 form, right? Which is an application for citizenship recognition. That's what the DS-11 form is. That's what the passport form is. All right. It's for recognition of national citizenship. The Social Security card is recognition for that's what we talk about. Birthrights, being born, or naturalized citizenship. All right. The Social Security says, hey, there's an estate here. The passport says, hey, this estate has a person who's secured under the niche. So when I pledge my collateral, my time, my labor, my energy, the ends linkers, the business that was created for me back to Pennsylvania, right? Pennsylvania, the U.S. Department of State ran it through the national government, and I was recognized as a national. Damn, that's what I forgot to put up there. There we go. What is the definition of a national? Right? I want to find out what is the definition of a national, because once I did all of this, I now my person, is that of a national character. So what does it mean, national? And again, I hear people out here talking about I'm a national. What does it mean to be a national then? Right? And to what nation? What nation am I a national of? My national government is the United States of America. Nation, national bank, national. Can we just get national? Do we have national here? Right. All right. So hold on. And this is most likely why I have both of them. There is no definition for national in the first edition, but I'm sure it is in this fifth. Black's Law. Nationality. See? All right, I'm going to show you all that too. National. Yes. All right. So what is it? What does national mean? National means pertaining or relating to a nation as a whole. So my character, my quality is represented in my nation. And Drew Ali says that money does not make the man. It is free national standards and power that make a man and the nation. Right? So my national, or being a national, means pertaining or relating to the nation as a whole. I'm an American. commonly applied in American law to institutions, laws, or affairs of the United States or its government, as opposed to those of the several states, right? The several states are the states that are in union. The union itself creates the nation. All right. So national means that I'm not being recognized as just a Pennsylvanian. I'm being recognized as an American citizen, as an American, my national, as an American with citizenship in Pennsylvania. Blood. All right. Citizenship, the right of the land, the right of the soil. That's what the right of the blood. That's what I was talking about. The joinder, being bound. Right. This is my bond. This is my bond that shows evidence, right, of my birthright citizenship, and I have bloodline citizenship here. There's never been a time when my ancestors, which are just human beings, right? Because every human being is an ancestor to me. So there's never been a time when my ancestors weren't here in America. So I'm an American. Period. That's all I need to call myself. I'm an American. All right. National. All right. It says national contemplates an activity with a nationwide scope. The term national, as used in the phrase national of the United States, is broader than the term citizen. Broader, has more capacity. Right? So I have a national person. When I pledged this person, Pennsylvania, to the national government, right? I got a securitized person. Again, that's the right, there we go. I got myself a secured person. I actually got one national. This is my national person. This is my international person that I secured, that secures, this person. All right, so my nationality on my cards say USA, but it tells you that my place of birth. So again, my citizenship says Pennsylvania, but it doesn't just say Pennsylvania. It says Pennsylvania, USA. So USA is in my nationality and in my birthplace. So I'm a national citizen. I'm not just a state citizen. I hear people say state national. I wouldn't say state national. I would say national statesman. That's just me. I'm a stickler for my words. Do as you desire. Please be advised. Caveat emptor. Right? I'm a national citizen. Right? When you look at, for those of you who do have a passport book, because it does not say it. Right, and it wouldn't necessarily say it on the card anyway, because it's not an international document. But on the inside of the book, we have an affirmation of protection. Right, we have an order of protection. It says the Secretary of State of the United States of America hereby requests all whom it may concern to permit the citizen / national of the United States named herein to pass without delay or hindrance, and in the case of need, to give all lawful aid and protection. All right? So that's from the Secretary of State. Uh, shit, again. Yes. So it says citizen slash national of the United States. So again, in America, you need nationality and citizenship to come together. Why? Because these states are united. They're not their own personal countries, right? And again, for those of you who studied Drew Ali's literature, Drew Ali told his Moors, by you being born here does not make you from here. Peace and greetings, Jack. Are you there?
Yeah,
How are you?
good.
Is there something you wish to speak? You wish to say?
No, no, I'm just,
Okay, so
I'm
you.
just listening.
All right. Well, you would you brought yourself. I'm gonna let you back down then. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
No problem, family.
Oh,
All right. Again, where was I at? Citizen national of the United States. Okay. So in America, your nationality is American. Your citizenship is what state in the Union you were born. In Africa, right? Your nationality and your citizenship is already uh, it's already connected because in Africa, none of the countries are united. Everyone is independent from the other, from the whole. There is no whole. Africa, Asia, Europe, all of their nations, right, are independent from one another. They share the continent, but they do not share the natural resources one with the other. Okay, in America, we share all of the resources of the entire land. All right, and so again, if you're born in Morocco, you're a national, you're a subject of Morocco, right? But there is no subjugation to Africa because Africa does not act as its own unified nation. Okay, and again, in America, we have a unified front. We have a more perfect union, right? Where all people, all men are born free and equal, equal and free, right? But all men come together in union, in honor, and say we will protect one another as brothers and sisters. Here in America, that's the deal here in America. True national citizenship says, hey, you're an American, I'm an American, we're American, we're family. If we say we're Americans, we're family, regardless of what we look like, regardless of the religious, regardless of the personal differences in appearance, right? Collectively, we are all of one mind, we are all of one body, right? Beautiful body, perfected body, beautiful, all of that stuff. We're all of one nation, one standard, one quality, one character. We all have the same personality. I'm an American. I'm an American. I'm an American. I'm an American. I could be this kind of American. I could be that kind of American, but I'm an American, right? And again, here in America, you, just by you being born here does not necessarily mean that your government has recognized that you are acting as a national. Yes, you have the birth certificate that shows evidence that you have citizenship here, but where is the claim? Because this is a claim. This this application for your U.S. passport. It is a commercial claim saying, "Hey, this don't belong to me. Here, take it. I'm nationalizing, right? Hey, take it. This belongs to you. I need equitable title. This is personal title. This is legal title. Here, this is not mine. The name's not mine. None of that's mine. When I leave this body, all of that stuff stays with the government. Hey, this is all yours. Now give me some. Now give me what you owe me. So now, what does that do for me? That takes me out of personal liability, right? As a national citizenship. That takes me out of local. That takes me out of default local oversight, overreach, auditing. Some of you may be familiar or have heard when brothers and sisters out here in America are using this identification, right, with other brothers and sisters who are in public servant capacities, when they're engaging together, that this document here, has some type of force, right? That says, again, just like with the international, right, statement from the U.S. Secretary of State, there must be some type of clearance, right, in which local government needs higher clearance. This is what I know, right? Your local government officials need, excuse me, they require authorization from outside of their own jurisdiction in order to really get the personal information from this ID. If they really desire to know where you were born, where all of that information, most likely they would have to get in touch with state trooper, U.S. Marshal, sheriff, right? The sheriff, definitely the sheriff, right? These would be the only, these would be the higher authorities in government. These are not government, local government. These are state, right, federal, and national governing administrations, right? You have security in your person as a national. And internationally, you have the same securities internationally, right? This says, hey, I'm at home, right? This says I'm a king at home, passport card. This says that I am a noble worldwide. Okay? So I'm Prince here at home. This is home to me. I'm recognized by my government. It's not just that I was born here, but I returned some things and received some things. Right? I have been perfected. I've been made whole. I'm a law abider. Doing this and operating properly shows that I understand government. That's what it shows. Oh, so it shows the capability, the capacity, or the ability. Period. It shows the ability to execute and administrate one's own affairs. And when you can show that you can do your own executing and administrating, then you can now be responsible as a public official, right? To do the same for those who are not recognized in that national capacity, right? When you're using the social security number in business, when you're just using that number, you are adding to the national debt in every way, shape, fashion, or form. You are incurring national debt, and you are incurring it upon yourself. And this is what makes a person uh, an enemy of the state, a combatant, a belligerent. What are some of the other titles? It's like wards. There you go. Wards of the state. When you're using the social security number, that's where your economic debt, slavery, that's where that happens. When you use a business EIN, right, you are in some way shielding that number, that social security number, right? When you get an EIN, you have to get one from the IRS. Right? Right. All right. Now, any 9-digit number, any business number, any legal entity number that you get, you personally, is going to be established from that social security number. Remember asking something? How you feeling? Good. Okay, I took her out a little earlier and she had peed. I didn't feed her or anything, so just letting you know, okay? All right. Oh, one thing, bro. Come here, G. Come here. I wanted to thank you because I seen that kitchen. That kitchen looks awesome. It really does. Would you fill me up with some salad? Thank you. All right, again, I forgot where it's at, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna open up and we can talk about what I spoke about. If anyone desires to speak about any questions, comments, right? If you're gonna take that, take that. I don't know if anybody's wrote it down. Again, this will be on the YouTube channel. Link in the bio. All right, so yeah, you know what? Yeah. So nationalization, right? What does that mean? What does nationalization truly mean? Right? Everyone, I hear people talk about the nationalization process. I hear people talk about the naturalization process. What does it all mean? Oh, okay. So Where is it at? There we go. Come in, please. Thank you. Thank you, bro. Mm. Okay. All right. What is nationalization? What is the nationalization process? According to Black's Law Dictionary, right? So many of these people who are teaching nationality in civics, right? They like to use the Black's Law Dictionary. I see no problem with that. And so, according to the Black's Law Dictionary, nationalization means give your shit back to the government. To me, it looks like it says give all your stuff back to the government. Do you see this? Do you see what I see? The acquisition and control of privately owned property or privately owned business. Privately owned business. Birth certificate, social security number. It's the acquisition and control of privately owned business by government. That's what it means to nationalize. To put everything into a national administration. You nationalize property. You nationalize a person. Humans don't nationalize. They nationalize their persons. Because the person is the property. This is my person. I can hold that up. This is my person. This is my personal account. This is my professional account. Nationally. This is my professional account internationally. These are my persons too. These persons are secured. They're called secured parties. Again. So I nationalized already. I rendered under seizure what was seizures, and I received in equity that which was due myself. I gave up the public liability. So, back to in any business that you conduct commercially, any EIN, you use your social security number to get it. That's what I was saying. Right? Now, when you get your EINs, you get them where? You get them from the IRS. The passport is the only 9-digit number that you get that is not issued to you through the IRS. It's not. Okay? That's why there are certain tax exemptions for certain. What am I getting at there? Yeah. That's why, and again, I think I might have made that statement, but I was making. That's why when you use your national ID or your passport, there are certain clearances that are necessary from other governing bodies because your passport says, "Hey, I'm covered, I'm cleared, I'm secured, right? I'm not under the federal. I'm not a default federal citizen. Local government does not have immediate clearance to administrate. They don't have jurisdiction over the national. Right? When the national was stopped, they have to be taken to someone of real authority. It exposes the level of authority that local government has, and it shows that they may have been overreaching at times when dealing with those who don't have that national recognition as an American. Okay. But again, your passport, um, that is the only 9-digit EIN that you use that is not issued to you through the IRS, and thus that is why you were. It's not that you are foreign to the federal government, but you are federally recognized as a taxpayer whose status and tax is exempt. Federally, right? So this is your national citizenship identification, the U.S. passport. This is your fiduciary trustee. This is your commercial agent. This is your professional capacity. That this is the passport, and not any of those fictitious passports. I don't even want to say that they're fictitious. They're not really as universal as I would like them to be, but I don't know enough about it, so I ain't gonna speak too much on it. I know that the U.S. passport is solid. It's solid. And again, I know that I'm a citizen of the United States of America. I'm not a Moroccan subject. I'm not a citizen of any African movement. Right. I'm an American. Drew Ali was an American. What I'm teaching is what I believe, what I feel, what I really know. Noble Drew Ali was this is the information, this is the half that has not been told. It's being told to you. Why? Because someone went through it. I went through it. I just and I went through it. I wanted to know what it does mean to nationalize. I really wanted to know what it meant. I wasn't trying to escape anything. A lot of people come to this national identity information thinking that they're trying to escape something. When you're nationalizing, it's telling you, get his shit back. You're fighting your own self right now. Give this shit back. So when I learned to give my stuff back and remove all the debts, and be forgiven of my debt, be forgiven of my transgression, and to learn to forgive those who may also trespass against. When I did all of that, right, I'm like, oh, this is what following the principles, right, of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, right, socially, morally, and economically. When I figured out how those 5 principles were active in those, various branches of human inquiry, like, oh, this is what Drew was showing, and this is what he's telling you. Drew Ali is telling you to give it back and be recognized as someone who is protected. You're protected because you gave up the personal liability. You gave it back to the state. You gave it back to its originator. Okay? Now, just some points that I desire to make. We'll talk about first name first versus last name first. Is there a difference? Other than the apparent difference? Is there a difference in application? Absolutely. So, liability is going to fall on the first name that's given. Okay? If I lead with my first name, then all liability is on that name. Well, that's my name. Now, if I lead with David Sell, liability is on the whole family. The liability is sorted out, right? It's no longer on me personally. It's on us as one professional. Your passport has your last name first. What's another significance of this relationship concerning first name first and last name first? When you were growing up, when you were being reared up as a youth, and you were being taught the ways of your people in society, right? And you were instructed to address the elders as Mr. or Mrs., right? Anyone who was in what would be presumably an authoritative capacity as a youth, you were told, it's last name first, and it's title then last name first, right? Mr. and Mrs. Robinson, or Officer Mattel, President Trump, right? But you as a child, you were called by your first name. By all of these people, you were called by your first name. Hey, Brandon. How you doing, Mrs. Johnson? I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't know my mother or my father's first name for a long time. To me, I just called them mom and dad, right? But they always called me Brandon. Yeah, there was a son here. There's a child. Hey, boy, whatever the case may be. But I was always called by my first name. Now, what I've learned in business is that a lot of people do business in their family name, in their house name, right? And this is a professional practice. You will see For those of you who are dealing with court, looking at dockets, any of you, look at the dockets and how the name of the judge is listed, right? I know on the latest docket, when I myself had to deal with some litigation, I'm reviewing the docket and I'm noticing that it says last name of the judge, then first name of the judge. Last name of the DA, then first name of the DA. My last name first, and then my first name last. But on the docket, when it's reading whoever versus whoever, my first name was first. I'm just like, damn, everybody on this side of the docket, everything on this side of the docket, that's the professional side of the docket. It's last name first. Mm-hmm. On many applications, all right, here's prime example. Prime example. This is an ethnicity and race identification form. Standard form 181. See that? Right. Now, if you see in the top, for the name, what to tell you? Last name first. Right? So they're getting you your contracting in your professional capacity without knowing, and then you're operating, with your personal capacity. So you're contracting professionally, but being held personally liable because you weren't aware. Right. I'm looking for other applications and shit. Right. I don't want to show this, and then they say that I shouldn't show y'all this, so whatever. What is that? All right. Okay. Boom. All right. Social Security form. It doesn't say last name first. You see that? The Social Security has first name last. For those of you who have a passport, you will see that your passport has your last name first. James Bond. James Bond is a double agent. I'm a double agent. What do you mean? I'm a federally recognized state agent. How does James Bond identify himself? It's something to consider for a moment. Very iconic, right? Last name first. Bond. James Bond. That's what he says. He leads with his last name first. And he's a man of distinguishment. He's a distinguished person. Think about that. For those of you who are old enough to remember James Bond always said, Bond, James Bond. That's how agents act. In the Matrix, Agent Smith. Agent this, agent that. So, Drew Ali was teaching his Moors and other American citizens how to operate like this. For those of you who are not familiar with the Moorish Divine and National Movement, this group of Americans set out to do business, and everyone who was doing business as under this organization, they always had their first initial and then their last name first, spoken first, along with their title. So it would be like title, we'll say brother, just being general. B, Davis L. So we have title, last name, title. Bond, James Bond. Or more professionally, Bond, the last name, and the title. It's title, name, title. Bond is his title, James is his name, if you understand. Okay? So people were going around B. Davis L, or I've also seen this written. I've seen notice how with Drew, the last name is always is the only name he ever used in his movement. Prior to this, he was also known as Professor. He was also known as a preacher. All right. But he always led with the title. And then when he became professional in his business, he got rid of his whole first name. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Noble Drew Ali. Drew Ali. Ali Drew Ali. Again, Bond, James Bond, right? But or title, last name title. That's what I'm really trying to express. The title comes first, right? These two, I found these two names outside of the movement. Just for anybody who may say, well, I never seen that. Right, because this is information that's not presented within the movement, whether it's hidden or just unknown, but it is out there. Census. I got this name from the consensus papers, from the census rolls, and I got this name from uh, newspapers in Newark, New Jersey, and other areas in New Jersey where his brother Drew Ali was known as an Egyptian adept, and he So I know that Drew Ali did. I know that Professor Thomas Drew, the Egyptian addict, did 18 months in a federal facility on the charges of um, practicing medicine without a license. All right. So, but anyhow, so this brother Drew Ali was showing everyone. He was showing his people who did not know any better how business is operated in your name, and how every group of people do the same thing in the same manner, right? The name is either their last name or the name of their business. Drew Ali even did that when he was explaining to the trustees of his organization that they are to do finance, they are to do business, never as an individual, and only either in his name or in the name of the Moorish Temple of America. So he, again, Drew Ali is showing you how to operate nationally as a creditor and how to not be and how to be secured while you're doing it. All right. I've seen personally, I took my son to the podiatrist a month or so ago. He had an issue with his toe. And the doctor, when I went in, it said Dr. Brown. Right. Philip, and then I don't know, I don't remember what it, But I noticed that it was title, last name first, right? And then his first name. And that stuck out to me. This is professional, right? These are how professionals work. In certain businesses, this is the professional stance. And so again, last name first, showing responsibility and duty, right? As opposed to first name first. We see that on the passport, you're operating with your last name first. So you are operating with all of the power and authority vested in you by your state and your nation when you use your passport. Oh shit. Pardon me. Here's something for all of you to know, right? Whether you're Moorish American or not. You don't need to have a title at the end of your name if that's not your religious habit or practice. The title, the proper title is in the use of the proper name. If you lead with your first name, that's the personal title. If you lead with the last name, that's the professional title. Okay? So I myself got the L amended to my name on the birth certificate. No, excuse me, on the social security card and on passport. I did a lot to get that done, just to realize that it didn't have to be done. I'm telling you, it didn't have to be done. But if you desire to be identified as an L or a Bay or an Ollie or whatever, if you wish to be, then by all means go ahead and do that and start with the SS5 form. All right, and you don't need to go and get all of these fake IDs. You can go to the library. You can go to the library. You can get an ID card from the library, and you can show that you've been using that ID along with any other ID, right? If you understand your religious freedoms, then you'll know how to explain that you're not changing your name, but that you are annexing or you are amending your religious title to go with your name, right? Just to show religious heritage, right? Nothing wrong with that. Right? I've heard people say, "Oh, well, they didn't let me do it. They said that I needed to go to court and get it changed on the birth certificate." No, it's because of the words that we may be using that are not proper. When they say name change, you have to tell them this: I'm not changing my name. That is my name. All right? That is my name. I'm not changing my name. I'm simply adding my title. I never changed my name. So if I never changed my name, I don't need a court order that says that I changed my name. I never changed, right, my name. But you have people saying name change, name corrections, right? And when I'm just talking about the we'll say the channels that I myself have, walked through and whatnot. You got people talking, filling out name change and correction forms, right? Getting rid of their whole last name, right? I did it. I thought that I wasn't supposed to use this name, and I remember I thought that I was like, I am Amaru Khan El Bay. Yes, there was a time when I was walking around talking about I'm Amaru Khan El Bay. I'm from the judicial and the legislative tribes. Yes, y'all. I was a part of that. All right. And I remember filling out a template where I was given this name back. I didn't have this part. I was given this name. I was given this English, this Christian name back to the Christians, and Taj Tariq Bey, Raz Mariah, RV Bey, all of them had me doing a lot. I mean, I can't say they had me doing, but I was listening to them, and they were misleading me And caveat emptor, I allowed myself to be misled. But it was necessary for me because now that I've been through it, I can tell you where the bullshit is. So I denounced this name. I chose that name. I sent this out to like 7 or 8 locations, right? Noticing, giving notice to people. None of this really did anything for. This didn't change anything in any system. I promise you that. Right? I thought it was going to do something. I didn't know any better. Me feeling that, sending it out. I think Barack Obama was in office at the time when I did mine. Right? So when I filled all of that, sent all of that out to the 7 locations with the certified green slip, and certified mail slip and this and that, and return mail, it did nothing. It didn't change anything. It didn't. Because when I started really realizing what was going on, right, and recognizing my own missteps, I'm like, yeah, I'll always be this name. And if I want to be identified as a different name in business, then yes, I would have to change the name on the birth certificate. Why? Because the birth certificate is evidence, it's property, it's inventory. I have inventory. I have source document. No, I don't have the source document. The source document was filled up, but nonetheless, I have inventory. Birth certificate. Right? So I found out Drew Ali tells his Moors, do not get rid of your last names. But what he says, do not get rid of your slave names, for you have birthrights under them. This is a statement Drew Ali makes. Well, what is my slave name? Slave just means servant. So what is your child name? What is your minority name? What is your name when you are not the administrator, but the one being administrated over? You know? Boom. That's the name. Now, what do we do to it to make sure that we know that it is no longer the beneficiary and it's now all grown up? L, that's the title of God. And now, someone says, excuse me, sir, what's your name? Oh, I'm L, Davis L. How you doing? Right? Born, James Born. L, Davis L. All of this is there too. It's on my passport, right? I'm not hiding it. I'm not trying to not use my first and middle name. I'm just letting it be known that in my professional quality, character, nationality, excuse me, I'm Brother Davis L. Right? That's it. Statesman, Davis L. Representative, Davis L. Authorized rep, Davis L. National citizen, Davis L. What's wrong with that? Why I gotta give you my first name? I gave you my last name. Shit. And my title. Right? But again, there is no reason to change your surname, to change your debtor name. Drawley said, don't get rid of your debtor name. Because you have birthright under them. He told you to place your title to the end of your name. You've got Moors out here talking about appellation, my appellation, my appellation. Stop. Stop that shit. Don't stop it, but don't force that on the rest of us, you. Right? So I have a name. I know that people, some more say a name is a property. Yes, I have property. I don't need to say my appellation. I don't feel like that's necessary. To me, that sounds like someone who's trying to sound more intelligent than they actually are. And that's just coming from someone who's intelligent. Someone who's not intelligent would think that that shit sounds intelligent. That shit does not sound intelligent. My appellation. My appellation. That's what you wish to call it, that's fine. But that shit, I'm telling you, I have a name. Call me by my name. Call me by my name. Call me by my appellation. Why make the distinction? My appellation is this, that. All right, cool. Same fucking shit. Right? Especially with us as Muslims. And again, I know a lot of these Moors, they say they're Muslim, but they don't know Islam at all. At all. But we say in the name of, or with the name of. We don't say in the appellation of. We do not say with the appellation of Allah. Okay? Okay? We don't need all of that extra trying to sound smart shit. Because it's. Just stop, please. All right, so just stop. This is my name. This is my title. I brought them together. I perfected it, right? I perfected my two persons. They are now one, right? And there's no need to change your name. If you're going to change your name on the birth certificate, fine. Fine. Make sure that whatever is on the social security card is also on the passport card or book if you finally decide to nationalize. If you finally do decide to say, hey, let me give these people back what's theirs so they could give me something out of it. Hey, lost and found. Hey, I found this ticket to this boat, to this ship. Oh, yeah, sir, here. Here, get on. Got you a seat. We've been waiting for you. When you finally decide to get on this national citizenship, right? Make sure that whatever is on your social is also on the passport. All right. If you change your name in any way, shape, fashion, or form, right? If you're going to change it, yeah, go get a legal name change. Right? Don't try all this extra outlandish shit, where you're attempting to seek commercial recognition without honoring commercial practices. Yeah, I mean, don't. What? Right? National citizenship. What is national citizenship, y'all? National citizenship means that you are recognized as a professional representative of your nation at home and abroad. That's what it means. National citizenship means that you've given all of your personal property to your government. And you recognize that everyone who's in your government has also given to their stuff. And so we now have more opportunities with our gathered resources in government than we had as if, my resources by myself, your resources by yourself, like we see in other countries. Again, Morocco, they have their own treasury, if you will, right? Right next door, Mauritania, they have their own treasury, if you will. In America, there's a treasury. They're departments, but it all goes back to one source. The United States of America is one whole country. That's what I want. Yeah. You got people who would tell you that the United States is not a country. They will tell you that the states are countries. Right? And what they are doing is they are attempting to depict America in the same likeness as every other continent or as every other governing body politic. Africa is not unified. Asia is not unified. Europe is not unified. I guess Antarctica and Australia, they're not unified. America is unified, particularly North America. But America is unified. It says we all act as one. It's not just California for itself. It's not just Maine, Florida. It's not Vermont, it's not just people for themselves. Everybody here in America is a part of the whole. We're all family members. We are supposed to show the same character, the same quality, the same standard. Whether you be Christian, Muslim, Yahud, Sanatani, uh, 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 Buddhist, Taoist, shit, deist, atheist, whatever your personal moral beliefs are, right? As long as they do not cause harm, injury, or financial loss to anyone else, to any other individual, right, then there's tolerance. There should be a tolerance, right? I should be able to say, oh, well, I'm Muslim, he's Christian, but we're good. You know what I'm saying? That's still my brother. That's still my sister. I'm not mad at them that they don't say Allah. That's not the language that they're using. I'm not mad that they say, oh, that Jesus is the Son of God. That's their understanding. I'm not here to argue with them. I'm not here to argue with anybody, right? Are you willing to treat everyone equally? Are you willing to honor everybody? As you would all have everybody honor yourself? Yeah, then we're good to go. Let's have it. You know what I'm saying? And we can even have fellowships. What do they call it now? My mother is a part of a church. It's a non-denominational, and they have interfaith relations. I'm down for that. You know, I could go in and be a Muslim, or I could go in and be whatever I need to be, because I'm only whatever I need to be. Right? I'm a creditor. I'm a trustee. So whatever language, whatever vestryman title that is affiliated with the people's organization, I fit that. So, to the Christians, I would be a preacher. I would be a father, reverend, right? Minister, right? I'd be a sheikh in Islam. I could be an imam. I'm a khalif, right? I am a rasul, right? We're all messengers, right? I could be a yogi. I could be a brahman. You can be these things because they all get to one particular quality of character. In America, you can have that. Everyone has the right to their own religion. Religion is trust law. How do you operate your trust? America says that as long as you can express your trust and how it's supposed to be operated, then it will be operated in that capacity. If you're a Muslim, express your Muslim trust. The Muslim trust will be operated as such. Now, when you do banking, this is what I'm realizing now. I have to find Muslim banks. I cannot expect non-Muslim banks, right, to adhere to Islamic finance practices, right? As a Muslim, I'm not even permitted to deal in what's called riba, which is undue interest. I'm gonna give you this for $10, but when you run it back, I need like $30. I need 20 on top of that 10. We don't deal in stuff like that there, right? That's unjust due, right? And that's a burden financially and economically in the community. That's a burden on other people. Now we see that in um, certain economies, certain economic practices within America. But again, in Islam, if there is banking done by Muslims, right, the Muslim banking, right, our practices, our Sharia law, right, trust in the state practices, it would be recognized under religious ecclesiastical authority. Hey, these people, they don't, they don't lend at interest rates, this, that, and the third. Now, if I go and put my finance into a non-Muslim bank, right, then you know I'm going to have to suffer those particular economic consequences until I can invest my own into my own. You know, you might not be able to open up a non-interest bearing account in other banks, but I know that I should be able to. I know that according to my religious law, right? According to my religious trust law, I'm not allowed to be burdened like that. I'm not allowed. It's a sin. To me, it's a sin. A sin is when you do not abide by what is already prescribed. It's transgression. Sin is acting in dishonor. Well, I feel like I may be being forced into dishonor, but if I'm not looking, right? If I'm not looking for, we'll say, like a Muslim Islamic bank, if I'm not attempting to even be the first, which I doubt I would be, right? Because I know that there has to be Islamic banks. But if I'm not taking the initiative to at least look towards establishing such a thing, then again, caveat towards important, right? Beware. If I'm doing banking the way I'm doing banking, I'm accepting it because at this point in time I haven't found anything else better, right? But if I just stop there, then again, that's shame on me. So me personally, I'm looking into other banking procedure partners. Yeah, I'm looking for Islamic banking partners as opposed to I don't know. I'm not just going to say what religion is presenting or promoting the the banks this day, but I know that the commerce, the gold, the silver, all of that stuff belong to the people, and I'm one of the people. And so, as long as I know that there's my own portion, and I'm operating in commerce correctly, then I know that you just can't get out on me. Can't just get out on me because why I would be an informed investor. We're learning how to be informed investors. And again, we should be looking into establishing our own credit unions or investing in the credit unions that are there. Right? If you need your conditions to change, you have to be the change that you seek. Can't expect anyone else to do it for you. You can do it. You will have people do it with you, but you will never have people doing it for you. All right. Appreciate you all for stopping by. I hope that this national citizenship information has cleared up some concepts for yourselves. Again, you can recap this on the YouTube channel. The link is in this bio here. All right. Appreciate you all. As always, I'm just your brother, man, L. Davis L. Right? Come to show you the way that I walk. Right? In case you wish to take the same journey that I've taken. Right? I'm here to alleviate some of the mistakes. I've made some mistakes, and if you're walking the path that I'm walking, you should be able to see my mistakes because I point them out for you, right? And then not make those same mistakes, so that you can achieve what you need to achieve faster than I had to. I had to go around my elbow to get to my thumb. Now you can just walk right into it. Appreciate you all. Till we meet again. Peace and love.